Hello, selamat petang dan selamat datang ke Athletes Inspire, khas untuk generasi muda dan pemimpin muda Malaysia. Hari ini, ya, kami ada tetamu istimewa iaitu Ivana Beriak dan Janitor Kadir. Mereka adalah pemain floorball wanita Malaysia yang telah mengharumkan nama negara kita dengan memenangi pingat gangsa di Sukan SEA Manila pada tahun lepas. Anda mungkin tertanya, apa itu floorball? Okey, nanti kita tujukan soalan ini kepada tetamu kita. Izinkan saya teruskan dalam bahasa English. So, we have two guests for you here today, Ivana and Janita. So let me introduce you to Ivana first. Ivana Sonia Beriak is a national floorball player from Kampung Sampun Gerunggang, Asajaya, Samarahan in Sarawak, who was a state hockey player for Sarawak from 2010 to 2014 in the SUKMA Games. With a bachelor's degree in sports science, exercise science from University Malaya, the top university in Malaysia, she is currently a sports coach at Epsom College based in Nilai, Negeri Sembilan. She plays floorball with Hufflepuff FC, and has represented the country five times since she was introduced to floorball at University Malaya in 2015. That was 5 years ago. She has won bronze medals for Malaysia in both Sukan SEA in the 2015 Singapore SEA Games as well as last year's Manila SEA Games. And I'm sure there is many more medals to come from Ivana. And floorball looks very promising in our nation. So hello, Ivana. So glad to have you with us here today.
Hi, I'm Ivana. Glad to meet you guys today.
All right, so that's Ivana. The second guest is Janitor Kadir. Now, Janitor Kadir is newer. She's a new national floorball player from Miri, Sarawak, and she was also a former Sarawak hockey player in the SUKMA Games from 2010 to 2014, similar to Ivana. And Janita has a heart for education and has served children at two rural schools in Baram, Sarawak. These schools are SK Long Pelutan and SK Long Lellang. She is currently a student at University Malaya, top university in Malaysia, and she is pursuing a bachelor's in sports management. And she only got to know floorball in 2017. That was 3 years ago. She signed up for a floorball tournament organized by iSystems College Miri, which led her to being discovered during a tournament in Shah Alam in 2019. After that, she's been called up. Excuse me, that's my nasi lemak coming back out. She has been called up to represent Malaysia in 2 international tournaments twice, and she has also been part of the team that won a bronze for Malaysia in the Sukan SEA Manila last year. So hello, Janita. Welcome to Athletes Inspire. Wait.
Hello, hi, I'm here. Thank you, Mr. Jared, for introducing me just now. So I'm Janita Kadir, and you can call me Jan or Janet.
Okay, hello, Jane or Janet. I'll call you Jane, it's easier. All right. Ivana.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people watching now are wondering, apa itu floorball? What is floorball? You've been playing the game for half a decade now, and I'm sure you're the best person to answer this.
Basically, floorballs is one of the hybrid from ice hockey. So we're not skating. we're using indoor court shoes. We're playing on the courts, any flat surfaces. And then we have our own equipments. And then so this is a ball. It's very light and it's made of from plastic. And then we have our on stick. This is plastic and composite fiber. So floorball has established in Malaysia more than 15 years. So passing years, we have floorballs since what? I'm not sure yet, but because I'm participate floorball when I was entering University Malaya. So a lot of state coming in to join floorball in Malaysia. The active state, which is Penang, Selangor, KL, Sabah, Negeri Sembilan, Johor Bahru, and our own state, Sarawak.
Okay, thank you, Ivana. So floorball is, of course, very new to Malaysia. I haven't heard of it until I was preparing for this interview and talking to both of you. But the national team of the women's national team, especially, has been consistently delivering medals in regional tournaments like the Sukan C. So, Janita, why did you choose this sport instead of the more established hockey? Because I understand that you played hockey when you were growing up, same as Ivana. Do you think, why did you choose floorball? Do you think that there is a future for floorball in Malaysia?
Well, for sure, I was a hockey player back then. Hockey is for me is got lots of competitors compared to floorball. As we can see, floorball nowadays, hockey nowadays, for example, like Sarawak, doesn't have much exposure of game in many places because the level is not really there compared to the East Malaysia. So yes, I do. I think that I do believe that floorball in Malaysia have showed a positive improvement since ever since then, and I think there not many people has recognized what is floorball, but there must be a awareness about this game should be promoted in Malaysia. Yeah.
So, Ivana, can you talk about what ways this game, floorball, has been promoted in Malaysia to your knowledge?
For myself, I got introduced by my friends in uni, and back then it was just to join the floorballs, join the tournament. We had a tournament, so that's my first mini tournament that I participate in floor. Is at the first place, like it quite interesting because what is this sport is about, and then when I play and training with it, and I feel like, oh, like something like this is quite new for me. Why not I just try again? So hoping, and then my coach selected me to the team, and then yeah, I'm in national team right now.
So thank you for sharing how you got introduced to the sport, Ivana. Jane, did you experience the same situation? How did you pick up the sport?
So talk about my experience in this sport. Actually, sport is have this amazing unique way in making a positive impact in society, you know. And sport is not very easy. But for me as an athlete in hockey, it was at first, for floorball is difference from hockey. It's very very new for me, and then the ball is very light compared to the hockey ball. And yeah, and yes, talents helps a lot, of course, because without my talents in hockey, I don't know how to play this floorball. Floorball is like similar to hockey, but then the skill and the technique is there, and also we have to improving our technique, yeah, skill and the speed itself, and for sure the technique of work we have to put in our mind as an athlete. And yeah, I have experienced a lot of things in hockey, and floorball is very new. And then I learned I need to be the best athlete, and it's very very glad to know this sport until now. I even don't know I'm become a good. I mean I'm been introduced by Ivana also this sport, and I'm still learning to be the best player. Yeah.
Mhm. So we have a question from Rossi Libao. Rossi Libao is a student from my school, SMK Tabon Jaya, from my class. Hello, Rossi.
Hello,
Okay,
Rosie.
her question is,
Hi.
so her question is, since when were you interested in the sport? I think in sports. Sorry, in sports. And
Mhm.
how many competitions have you joined?
Well,
Ivana, can you take
Ivana,
this?
Locally or internationally? For locally, I'm playing start 2015. We have our own state league, and then in the state league we have our own club. So throughout the years, we have in Malaysia itself 5 throughout the years. And for international, I have played 5 times. The big competition that I went is a world qualifier in New Zealand, which is on 2007, I think. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And then we going to I went to Bangkok and Singapore for ASEAN Oceanian Championship, and then two big games for the whole sea games is Singapore and Manila. A lot.
Jennifer,
I lost count. I lost count.
okay, thank you, Ivana. It's okay. You won too many medals and you joined too many games. That's why you lost count. So, Jennifer, there's another question from Anastasia Averill. She's also a student from SMK Tabon Jaya. So,
Hi.
hello, Anastasia. So, her question is,
Hi.
good evening. I want to say, how long have you been in this sport and since what year? Jennifer, can you take this one?
Okay. Floorball is very new for me, so I start to join floorball is in 2017, which I joined the Epsom College with my coach, Sir Farrell. He was the one to promote me to this sport, and yeah, I'm really really new in this sport. And then after that, I dedicate myself to be the best and try to get how the training is going on. And yeah, I did not expect that my dream is coming true to become a national athlete. So yeah, but for hockey, I played since I was 2007 until now. I'm still active, but most of all, I I'm still in. I'm active in all sport. I can say I am active in sport. Yeah.
It's very interesting to see that the both of you started with another sport and then you moved into this sport and then you got selected for the national team. Do you think that this is something that other students, other people can do, especially the younger athletes? What advice would you have to give them?
Being in sport actually. Right. Can you
Yeah,
repeat
so
the
both
question
of
again?
you, okay.
Yeah.
Both of you started with hockey, right? It's a different sport than what you are playing for Malaysia now. You're playing floorball. So would you recommend, what advice would you give to young athletes now, the young people in Malaysia, if they want to represent their country in a sport? Would this be something that they can do as well?
Yeah,
Of course.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's no limit to join or to join other sport. There's no limit. So whatever you want to play, make sure that you achieve your target. Don't don't ever give up on whatever you want to do. There's no limit to join many sports in your life.
It's interesting that you say don't forget your target. What do you mean when you say target?
So each one of each one of us will have our own target. For me, when I playing sport, I want to target. Okay, I want to improve in this skill. The next one, okay, I want to score whenever I have a chance, and then when I do my best and I polish all my skills, I want to target to another level, which is playing represent the state and the top the top one. I want to play in national team. So that's the you make sure you have a benchmark so that you can have a specific goals that you want to achieve rather than just a random thoughts that and then you just simply do whatever you want to do. You must have your benchmark and you must have your own specific target to achieve your goals.
Yeah, that's very true. I guess if you want to represent Malaysia at the highest level, you cannot just blindly like cintai, you know, guys pagi makan pagi, guys petang makan petang. You have to have a target and you have to work hard towards a goal. So Ivana, I understand that you grew up in a kampung in Asajaya. I have a lot of students from Asajaya as well, and I'm sure they are listening in right now and they want to hear from you. Can you tell us what it's like growing up in Asajaya in your hometown, and how was your school? Did you pick up hockey at school?
Oh, growing up at kampung is very interesting. Very, you learn a lot. Like you have you have your friends together with you. My life in schools, okay. And how did I pick up hockey is from secondary school. One of my teachers opened up the hockey in school, so I just why not just try this sport? So I try hockey and play with it, and then represent the school. And my state coach, which is Coach Shiva, pick it up me through the tournaments, schools tournament. So my teachers told him that she just started playing hockey about 3 months. So then it's interesting, and then I got picked up to represent Sarawak. And when I represent Sarawak, then that time my coach teach me a basic skill how to improve on technical and tacticals in hockey.
Right, thank you, Ivana. Janitor, I understand that
Yes.
you grew up in Miri. Is your
Mhm.
experience similar to Ivana's, since you're both from Sarawak? Did you pick
Um,
up hockey in secondary school as well? How was it like growing up
so
in Miri?
growing up in Miri is very interesting also, as Ivana said. So it's our hometown, right? We grew up in our hometown. It's very interesting story I can share. Is I'm an athletics. I took 400 meter, and then I stopped athletics because I get interest in hockey, and then my teacher approached me to join the selection that time. So I joined hockey since I was 2007, which in form 1. So it's I have a lots of experience in hockey actually, compared to floorball. Well, then I got been invited by the coach at iSystem to join the floorball. Well, it's quite. I mean, to join a lots of sport is very interesting, because you meet a lot of friends there. I bet everyone as an athlete like to meet all friends outside there, and then yeah, it's quite interesting in my life. Like I think, yeah.
All right, so I gave you a choice between Bahasa Malaysia, Bahasa English, and also Bahasa Rojak. And it's interesting that both of you chose to do this interview in English. Did you, both of you, speak English growing up? Both of you speak English pretty well. And was English easy for you?
Oh, it's good. Uh,
Oh, for me, uh, I I didn't talk in English with my family. We mostly talk in Bahasa Iban. And then when I with my friend also, we also talk in Bahasa Iban. But then when I was secondary and primary, I didn't uh, talk in English. I just talk in my mother tongue. When it's quite late. When I was entered uni, I pick up uh, English English very very late. So when I meet a lot of new friends, they talk a lot in English. So it's very back then it's very difficult for me to talk fluently. Even right now, so I still a lot of needed to be improved on in English. But actually, English is just a language. You no need to shy on when you are talking English, even though it's a broken English, even though it's a broken English. But as long as you try and
yes,
make
correct.
sure that you don't feel ashamed on whatever you telling to your friends. So make sure and very important also, if you're surrounded with friends that encourage you to talk in English rather than you talk in your own mother tongue, because English is also a universal language where you need it to communicate with other people. For example, foreigner. Yeah.
What about you, Janitor? Did you speak English growing up? And where did
Well,
you?
well, I didn't speak English, but I speak my own mother tongues, which is Iban. Ya, selamat lemai semua. Okay. Yeah, I start speaking in English. I practice my English in home with my dad and my brother. These two person always speak English to me, so I just reply them with English. So English is very important, as Ivana said, it's a universal language. It's good that you at least you try English, even like broken English. Yeah, yeah. English is good for everyone to try and learn.
Okay, Ivana, you have been very involved in in sports at a very young age. Has anyone in your family, has everyone in your family been supportive of you as a girl being in sports? Did people at school or around you bully you because you had muscles?
Oh, I'm very grateful that I have my family that supportive me and encourage me to do sport. And fortunately, no one's bullying me in the school. Uh, no one's bullies me and no one talk something that provoke me, such as discriminate me, has a big muscles or have a body like boys. No one's. So far as I
Did,
was in school, nobody's bullied me.
did anyone ever tell you that there's
Uh,
no future in sports?
oh, they do have, of course. When you have all peoples and some all peoples that telling that, oh, these kids have no futures in sport. So and then she always mess up with her study. uh I took that as a motivation for me to learn more and training more in order to prove them that this is wrong. From sport you learn a lot, for especially on your life skill. And then and then I pick it up as a challenge so that everyone don't underestimate. As you live in the rural area and then you active in sport, but someone always discriminate you, just don't give up. Make sure it's as a challenge and give it a try. You do a mistake, you rectify your mistake. That's what sports uh, give me had give me a learn that nothing nothing won't last if you if you don't give up something. Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting that you said that you messed up your studies. Was that in secondary school? And how did you go from messing up your studies at school to going to the top university in Malaysia, University Malaya, graduating from University Malaya? And how do you survive that university, world as a person who messed up your studies? And then right now you're coaching, you're basically doing something that you enjoy at an international college, international school in Nilai. So how did you go from that to where you are today? Do you have any advice for people who might want to do the same thing?
uh I'm feel so lucky that I have supportive friends that always encourage me and motivate me to keep on studying and focus on academic also instead of sports. And then, but when I realized that I'm not in a rich family, so how do I want to survive in this world by using sports to elevate me to the next level. So when I are using I'm staying in a boarding school in Asajaya. I'm staying there, and then I managed to get myself disciplined in order to make sure all my homeworks and my training schedule is in plan, and so that I don't mess up again. And I advise all the youngsters nowadays. I hope you guys, it's not too late to uh, improve yourself. Make sure that every decisions that you make sure it's feel berbaloi. People say that biar apa yang awak buat tu biar berbaloi. Apa keputusan yang awak buat tu biarlah ada benda yang kita nampak in the future. If you tak nampak sekarang, it's okay. You must have a people that to guide you, especially the teachers, can guide you to a good path in your life.
I appreciate what you're saying. You messed up your studies, but you didn't let that pull you down. You didn't say like, alamak, sudah gagal ayah, tak apalah, gagal sajalah, tak kisahlah. So I like that you made a plan. You focus completely. I mean, you focus on both sports and study at the same time, and you managed to get good results in SPM. I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise you wouldn't be accepted into University Malaya, right? So you are able to do both sports and also studies together. So with this combo, probably, and your determination and your decision to, no, I'm gonna do it, I can do it, I'm not gonna listen to what other people say. You can look down at me, you can say bad things about me, but I will do my best because I have a target and I want to achieve it. So I really appreciate that. And I think that a lot of people in Malaysia, young people, old people also need to hear this message, that it's possible to go through difficult times. It's possible to survive. It's possible to thrive, even though you fail now, but fail forward, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ivana. So, Janita,
Yes.
I understand that your parents want you to work to support the family and all that, but you decided to continue with sports and also pursue your studies in the degree level right now. So why did you make that decision? Aren't you afraid of being dahaka and then turn into batu? How did you get the funds to study all the way in KL? You know, in UM, it's like terbang over there, and then you have to like pay all sorts of expenses. So how did you get the funds to do that? Did your involvement in your sport help you to get to university?
Okay, well, to answer that question, for first of all, my parents want me to work after I finish my study as Form 5. So I that time I was feeling down because I want to further my study, but then I have to obey my parents' needs or their rules or whatever. But then so I just listened to them. I went to work at rural area government school, which is SK Pelutan and SK Lellang. So that time, I got one day thinking about myself, like why I should study now. I mean, why I did not continue my study, and then now I'm working. So I've been thinking, why don't I keep saving my money for my study? But this one is without my father and mother knowledge. But then I took my decision and tell them straight to the point, I want to continue my study. I will have sometimes, as an athlete, you have to break your own rules. Sometimes you have to not listen to your parents. Not to say that you are dahaka or what. Sometimes you have to do what you like, and it's a better future. For me right now, I think I do a good decision, which is I I further my study at University Malaya, taking a sport management, which is in sport field. So it's a exciting and glad to continue my study. So in my involvement in sport, it's helps a lot to me continue my study at University of Malaya, and I can say also the talents that I have now is helped me a lot to many sport. I in University Malaya I joined a lot of sport, which is hockey right now, floorball, futsal, and frisbee. The things that I never knew. Frisbee is very new for me. I bet everyone knew frisbee is what the plate that we throw like catch thing. Yeah. So that's very fun to know all peoples around you, and you gain more knowledge about uh, sport. Instance like you listen to your parents, like all the time you listen to parents, you work, then you got pressure, but instead your heart say you want to continue your study. But my advice to young athlete out there, you should um, listen to you what your heart say, what you like, you should do. It's, I think it's a better for your future. Yeah.
Is it very common? Let me bring Ivana into this. So I mean, when I grew up, my parents just wanted me to study. But is it very common in your culture or in your neighborhood, your community, for young people to go straight to work after Form 5? They don't study at all, and then they lose focus. I mean, they lose focus in their studies and their what do you call it, their sport, and they just focus on getting work. Is that very common?
Yeah, I can say I think nowadays very common things, but sometimes parents want us to work because to support them, and to to less the burden to pay any electric bills or car payments. And then, but sometimes athlete itself, you have to know what you like, and it's your for your own future. Yeah, like me right now, I'm facing, i think I think all the athletes must face the things like this. Parents mostly want their daughter or son to work, and then at some stage you feel like you see your old friends in Facebook, Instagram, or they're all graduates in degree, a diploma. I think all the as a human, you see, oh, I'm so jealous. I should further my study. Why I work and thinking about that. But then, if you really like in that field, for example, sport, you have to set your goal, as Ivana said for the at first just now. Yeah, you have to have your own main why you want to further study, and it is for your better future. Yeah, and helping a young generation what is sport, for sure.
So the both of you,
For
sorry,
me,
Ivana.
it depends on the individual itself, because some what I observe from in my own place, most of them is not to saying that they are not educated. It just not everyone have financials to support the kids to further the study. For me itself, I'm thinking of other alternative instead of just waiting for my parents to pay my studies. I took like we have our own PTPTN, so and then we have like a lot of scholarships in Malaysia. You can use that as an alternative to further the study. There's no limits that you not to study. Even I think young kids nowadays they had exposed to to a new technology where they can find a lot of scholarships there, and then even they can do a part-time study. Um, the one that limit us to not to further study, it is excuses. When you have an excuse, then it will limit or whatever you want to do. So I encourage all the younger kids, especially in my place, please, you need to have the knowledge in order for you to survive in this world. If you don't have a knowledge, it doesn't matter. You taking a skill. You taking like, if you're not if you're not smart kids, it's okay. There's no limit on that. That we have a lot of skills college that can help you to further your study. You can try on culinary. You can try on more like become a mechanic. And then with that knowledge now, you can use that certificate for you to demand your salary. It's very important. It's very important now. If you need that certificate for you to work, even you don't because even though you don't have SPM, you can still take a MARA certificate to further your study. We have a lot. Malaysia have giving a lot of opportunities for you to further your study. I encourage all of you to find other alternative to gain your knowledge in order, no matter in academic or in skills.
Do you mind sharing, one of you or both of you sharing, it's interesting how you spoke about scholarships, PTPTN. So how did you find the ability, the funds to pursue your education in your degree? How did you do it? Do you mind sharing?
The scholarship, is it?
Me,
Hey, Ivana is you.
okay. Me, I applied PTPTN to further my study, and PTPTN is quite easy to apply. All of you can apply through PTPT, and yeah, and then when you have the PTPTN, can help you up in financial when you studies. But make sure once you get your work, you need to pay it. And then the interesting, when you apply PTPTN, if you have a good result, have a good pointer, the PTPTN itself automatically become your scholarship. Means that you don't need to pay any sort of amount if you have, if you achieve good pointers in order to get scholarship from PTPTN. That's why you need to study hard and study smart.
Thank you so much for that answer. So there must be people watching right now wondering, like, how can they, if they want to go and play floorball today, how can they do that?
Well, they want to play a floorball, so maybe can but you can stop at can see the page at Floorball Malaysia Floorball Associations, and in there you have fun many training skill, I think. And if they are interested to continue your study at University Malaya, then I will introduce you the floorball, what is floorball, and from the zero to hero, yeah, about floorball. I think Ivana is but more experience about these things. I joined her club.
You can use media social to follow Malaysia Floorball Association. Malaysia. So we have they have Instagram and Facebook, and then you can find out from there, what is floorball, how you want to join a floorball, and then you can also follow my club, Hufflepuff Floorball Club, in Instagram or FB. And then we have a lot of platform you can follow and look it up what is floorball is. You can follow IFF Floorball Federation in social media. They have in IG and Facebook also. So you can go through there and look it up and try to look it and how what is and how do we play floorball.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering right now, in the coming years, in the years to come, what can people expect from the both of you?
Interesting question.
Oh.
What people can expect from us? Well, Ivana, you want to answer this? You answer
Okay.
first and then
What people can expect from us. I hope keep supporting us, especially in floorball, and I hope floorball in Malaysia will expand more in the future, and especially in our own state, Sarawak, so that we can introduce floorball in Sarawak in the future. Furthermore, we also need a help in order to recognize this floorball, which is a recognition from Malaysian sports, National Malaysian Sport, MSN, can we call that? Yeah, in Sarawak itself, to helping us to collaborate with us to promote floorball in Sarawak, especially in schools and in rural area.
yeah. So at Miri, we did play floorball, but then because of the quarantine, right? So the training is stopped there. So where you can find to play floorball is sometimes it's at indoor stadium Miri or Pemin School, which organized by the Epsom College, Sir Farrell. He's the one who in charge the floorball, and yeah, what can I say is what can you expect from me is I hope in the future I share my experience in floorball as well in hockey, because I got a lot of experience in hockey, and I share my knowledge and my how I train, how I dedicate myself, how I put my technique of works. I would glad the young generation nowadays to play floorball, and you be interesting in floorball. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so if people want to pick up floorball, they should go to Malaysia Floorball Association on social media and online website. And also, if and you are asking those who are listening right now to support floorball in being recognized by the Majlis Sukan Negara (MSN).
Yes, correct.
So what can people do to help you to succeed, to bring more pride to the Malaysia?
Oh, you want to answer or me? Repeat the question again.
Okay, basically, what can people do to support you? How can people help you to be the best that you can be and to win more medals from Malaysia? Give us the medal.
Well, how can people out there to support us is maybe you can macam mana cakap aku dah even I want to say something, right? Maybe we can just like know our present. I mean, our as an athlete in Sarawak, because floorball is not very known by many people. So I encourage that people should know what is floorball at first, and for sure that's how you can support and give a good advice for sure. Yeah.
What can all Malaysian can support us is you by by spread the news about what is floorball in your schools, in your families, at cafeteria, and then you can talk to your friend. Oh, I watched this in this one of the interview before, or they explain what is floorball, so I want to try to look at it. So me as a national athlete, floorball, I want all of you spread the news about what is floorball, and try to learn in what is floorball. You can find it in YouTube, in our own social media, Malaysian Floorball Education, and other platform also. You can find it from there. And we also need a lot of support by funding our team to our next tournament. We don't know yet when is our next tournament, because we're still in the pandemic right now. So hoping this pandemic will get off so that we can play and introduce you guys what is floorball. And
That will be
hoping that
interesting.
by funding we can have our own home ground training, and then we have our own facilities so that we can train.
Young generation.
So where we can train and where we can rest. Because for now we are all of national player is a part-time athlete. Some of them are still studying, working. So hardly for us to give our full-time commitment as a, because we don't have our own allowance to play in this sport. So we need funding so that the education can same like other sport, same like other big name sport that established in Malaysia. So we need
Can I
fundings
interrupt for a
and
minute?
facilities in order for us to go for training.
Can I ask you, like, well, what is the achievement of the women's floorball team? Like, just to illustrate why people should support you financially, especially, like, what is the achievement of the women's floorball team? Do you mind sharing?
Well, bronze medal.
Recently you had heard that we won a bronze medal. That's our highest achievement. By that we can we can increase our own performance by needing a lot of funding, so that easier for us to have our own centralized training area. And then our higher for world qualifiers, we won 5th placing in qualifier in Bangkok That's the greatest achievement. World qualifier is not it's not a small tournament where we compete a lot of big country, which is we against Australia, New Zealand, Japan, one of the toughest team in ASEAN, and Singapore, our own rival Singapore, Indonesian, and China. Uh, that is our biggest achievement in World Qualifier Championship, where we on a fifth place in World Qualifier in Bangkok, 2018.
Yes.
That's why we need a support from the government itself, to in order to help us to achieve, well, how to help us to achieve our own our goals from by supporting us. We can have our own ground, our own training ground, and our own boarding, what to say, asrama. Yeah, our own boarding where we can stay. We hostel where we are from all around the country. Some of them from Sabah. They need to fly into KL to have our team training. Some of them from Sarawak, some of them from Penang, some of them from Johor. So that we need that our home ground training given by government.
Okay, so I understand that this team is truly a national team. You have players from Sabah, Sarawak, and also other states in Malaysia. And also, it's not just you win one bronze medal, you've win third place bronze medal in both SEA Games that you've competed in. The 2015 Singapore SEA Games, your team won the bronze. Last year's 19 Manila SEA Games, you guys won the bronze as well. And the Bangkok competition, that is the World Cup, right, of floorball. And you guys are number 5 in the whole of Asia Pacific. Asia Pacific as in Asia, the big a big piece of the world called Asia. And Pacific, which is New Zealand, Australia, blah, 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 like all together. So you guys are number 5 in probably half of the world. And so imagine if you had your own training facility, you have specialized coaches, you have specialized facilities, hostel. Imagine how much more glory you can bring to Malaysia and also to the brands that are on your jerseys. So if you are a sponsor, if you have a company, a sports company or whatever it is, and you're looking for a team to sponsor, look no further. Look at the Malaysian women's floorball team. They deserve your support. They are consistently winning medals. So give them a call, look up these two people and contact them and support our athletes, Malaysian athletes. They need your support. So do you have some time? Let's go through some of the questions from our viewers. Are you okay with time?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to this question here. This question is from Chris Emmanuel Rentak. And this guy is the head prefect in my school, SMK Tawanjaya. So I have a lot of my students here today. And he says, what is the greatest challenge that both of you have faced? And how did you overcome it?
Okay, I will start. Is it? Okay, I will start. My greatest challenge is financial. Well, this is the big challenge for me. I have to fly over to KL because I'm working that time. So I work at rural area. So fly to KL is spending a lot of money. This all my money, and because I'm working that time. So that's when the time I think about myself. I need to further my study and then continue my training at that place. So our training is at KL, and then so yeah, I managed to overcomes the problem or the issue that I have right now. The best decision I make, study and training at that place, because the less financial you can spending, you can also know that flight ticket is not very cheap. It's very expensive. Even like only 2 day training, we have only we training only for 2 sessions, which is Saturday and Sunday, and then I have to fly back to Miri. So I have to spend my own money, and then I have to the next training again. And then the next week training, I have to fly again to KL. So that is the most greatest challenge I faced. Then I took my opportunity. I took step for myself. I go study, and yeah, I'm at university right now.
Same as Jen right now. The most greatest challenge that I face when I'm playing sport is financial. Even working, you also need you also have other commitment to pay, and then you need to manage your own money in order for you to sustain and survive in this industry. How did I manage to overcome the difficulties that is quite struggling? Not to honestly say it's not easy for me to face it, because I need to manage my time, I need to manage my money, so that everything will going smoothly when I'm playing floorball. So by planning it well, so that you can save some of your money to pay your own commitment and to pay floorball, because we playing floorball is by using our own money. We still don't have our own allowance to. We still don't have allowance to pay for us. We need to pay for to playing the sport. But please don't see it as a limit. See as a what to say, as a challenge for you to overcome the financial issue. By maybe you can save some money, or maybe you take a part-time job in order for you to manage to pay all your commitments. So I think all of you have issues in financial. So I hoping that by supporting each other and encourage each other, that will help a lot for all of us.
Correct.
I want to ask a follow-up question. So both of you talked about financials being a struggle. Like you have to come up with your own money to go for training, even though you are representing Malaysia. Is that a very common situation for other athletes? Do you know about this?
Yeah. Yes. All of floorball players. Yeah. We still pay to play floorball.
So it's very interesting that you guys are. I mean, you're giving your time, you're giving your bodies. You're training every day. You're going to sports. You might get injured. You're straining yourself, and also you're paying to do that. And when you get the medals, it's Malaysia that gets the glory.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that I have you here today, so you can share your story with whoever is watching now, so that they know that the athletes of Malaysia, they're giving so much, especially the women's floorball team. You're giving so much, and you're not getting that much back, and you have to keluar your own
Yes.
to do it. So we have another
It's
question.
still
Sorry.
mhm.
Yes, go ahead.
It's still we still, for me, even though we don't have a great amount that we have spent before, but I feel that now people, I see the positive side where I see positive side where people can now people know what is floorball. It's not about us individually. It's about the sport itself. The love of the sport. People now can know what is floorball in Malaysia. Then floorball is quite. I hope that floorball will be famous in the future through this platform.
Yes, correct.
So we have another question. This question is from Su Lin Te. How do you manage your time playing floorball professionally and also coping with your studies at the same time? So I think I want to divide this question into two parts. One is studying in university while playing sports, and also another one is studying in school, like secondary school, and also playing sports. So, Janita, can you take the question for in secondary school? How did you manage your studies and sports at the same time?
So, how do I manage my study and I play in the same time? Actually, it's you have to balance these two things. Even like you have to think positively because you want a training. This is training and study. This thing, if you don't balance, then it will get like your life will be like in the future it's not that good. But then you try to find a time for yourself. For example, in study, you set your time. Okay, for example, yeah, maths, you have to set your time, the, uh, 10 to 11, and then you have a training schedule, and then you have to focus on training, and then study is study, not mix all things together at the same time. So this thing will help you to improve yourself in a better future. Yeah.
Ivana, do you want to talk about how you manage your studies and sports at the same time in university level?
As you go to university level, the workload is higher, and the expectation also higher. And then how you manage to, how do I manage to, all everything is organized is I also plan accordingly by make sure making sure that the priority first is my academic, the first place. Why I come to university in the first place is you want to study, right? And then that's your main priority. The second one is you need to manage your training, and you need to plan properly so that you have uh, you have a greater result in academic and sports. Uh, I what I did is what I said before. I plan by making sure I have my planner. So I write down what time to what time I need to study, and what time to what time to I need to do my training, and what and then you sub it by for example, today you study muscle anatomy, muscles is anatomy. So you sub the topic of what you want to study, nerve, like subtopic. You want to study muscles or you want to study the nerve. So, and after that, for the training, you need to plan out what you want to train. You want to train your fitness or you want to train your skills. That's how I manage my schedule. But sometimes I also disobey my own schedule by I want to reward myself that I also sick with the training and with the studies. I also reward myself by allocate a time to have a rest and for me to enjoy myself, like by go to watch a movie, go to the mall and hang out with my friends. That's what I did when I was in uni. I'm not the one that study. When I study, right?
I think we're all the
It
same.
will make me stress. I cannot cope with the stress. So in uni level, it's very, very challenging.
Right.
I need to learn how to adapt and cope with the stress that you have. I sometimes I also stress and I just want to get out from the room and hang out with my friends. Or I play sport.
Friends.
Yeah, I think
That's all.
so to summarize, I think both of you said similar things. There are three things. So one is you need to know what your priorities are, right? You need to know what is the
Correct.
most important to you. Are you there to enjoy saja, or are you there like your number one priority? Is it to study? Is it for sports or whatever it is? And everybody has to make that decision for themselves. Number two is plan. So my lecturer famously said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And as athletes, you have very little time. You have to focus on sport at a national level, and you also have to focus on study. If you don't study, you fail, and then malu lah satu kampung, right? So
Right.
you don't have, everybody has 24 hours, so you need to plan and stick to the plan as much as you can. And finally, self-care, right? You need to take care of yourself. If you're nobody's a robot, we're all human beings. We need to relax, we need to enjoy, we need to have some screen time sometimes as well. So incorporate the humanness that we have into our plans as well.
Yeah.
So that's very practical, very good advice. So we have another question. This question is from Gan Tek Yik. And the question is, do you have any sportsman or woman that you idolize?
Ooh.
Jennifer, do you want to go first?
Well, my idolize is Cristiano Ronaldo. I'll say much because he always do his best in sport, even like how to give motivations to the athletes. I bet everyone like Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Yeah.
Ivana?
I'm looking up our own former squash athlete, Datuk Nicole David. She's my idolize since I'm secondary school. When I was started pick up sport, so I'm looking up at her as a idolize because she also achieved in academic well and sports squash. That's why I idolize her as my mentor.
All right.
It's
Very good. So we have one last question from the people watching now. And this question is from Felix Yap. and he asks, "What is your inspiration? I think behind playing floorball. What inspires you to play every day?"
What inspires me to play every day is my dedications. From the beginning, I always set my target, and as I said just now, I need to be the best. I if since day one of the football training, I was training hard, listening to the all player and experienced player, and yeah, dedications I work is till now. I didn't believe that I am a national floorball because I'm a hockey player. So this is why all goal and all achievement that I get is from dedication I work. Yeah.
Ivana?
My inspirations to play floorballs is hardly to say how to is what I my inspiration is I'm looking at myself. Honestly, I'm looking at myself. How do I want to be like her or him, and how do I want to achieve it by giving all it out or give it halfway macam angat-angat tai ayam. So I did not all the journey is beautiful. Some of the journey have the struggle and the challenges itself. But then before I lost my father 2015, that one early years of 2015, he was, but then I didn't think about any inspiration. Honestly speaking, that I didn't think about any inspiration. One, what did keeping me up is my family, my parents. That's really encouraged me to make them proud in academically or in sports. And then, yes, nowadays I'm making them proud in sports and academically. So, yeah, my parents is my inspirations.
Wow, thank you.
If
Thank you,
not
Ivana.
them, then who am I now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope that everybody watching right now, you will have the opportunity to do the same thing, to make the people who love you proud and to feel like, you have brought them joy and you are in a position to do even more to bring them happiness and also to bring happiness to everybody in Malaysia through your achievements.
Yeah.
So where can people find out more about the both of you?
Ivana first.
You can follow you can follow my media socials and just type on Ivana Sonia Beriak. You can find my name in Facebook or in Instagram.
Yeah. So you can find my name at Facebook is Janet Kadir, and then my Instagram name is Janet Kadir Official. So you can see what I'm doing. Sometimes I dance, sometimes I do crazy things. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I have included the links to their social media in the description below. You don't have to type anything, just click that. Easy for you. Make sure that you go to their Facebook, Instagram, and you follow them and you like and comment on everything that they put out there. So is there, and the final question for the both of you, is there anything else, any last words that you want to give to the young leaders of Malaysia?
Ivana?
Okay.
Oh, so say Ivana.
I hope that all the young leaders out there, please don't give up in whatever you want to do. Making sure that you have your own goals as your benchmark in order for you to achieve it, and then the important thing is you must have good people around you that always have a positive vibe and positive encouragement for you to go further to achieve your dream. Yep.
Okay, my advice to young generation out there, first of all, don't give up in your dream. Just you need to do what you like. Don't care about what people say to you. Like for example, they say you gemuk, you cannot play. You cannot do. You cannot make yourself down, and then you have to. If people say something bad to you, like bad things to you, you have to back up and challenge yourself. I can do a better. I can do better than them. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes the hardest battle you have to fight is between who you are now and who you want to be, who you are now and who you want to be in the future. So don't give up and catch your dream.
Wonderful. Words of wisdom from Ivana and Janita. Thank you so much to the both of you for sharing with us for more than an hour today. I think an hour and a half almost. And
Yeah.
one thing that I really respect from the both of you is both of you decided to do this in English, even though Bahasa Malaysia or Bahasa Iban would be much easier for you. But and then you struggle on the video, but you're giving it your best. And I think this is something that people need to learn. People need to do in their lives. It's not about only doing the things that you're good at and only doing something if you know that you can get A plus. It's about being brave and being willing to struggle and not being afraid of people looking at you like alamak, on screen or live on YouTube, but being brave enough to do it and say, I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to try it. If I fail, it's okay. I'm going to learn from it. Now, I like this attitude. And I think that with this kind of spirit, you are going to make Malaysia very, very proud. And as a Sarawakian, I'm really, really proud to know you. And I'm really glad that you are here and sharing your story. I hope that many people who are listening will be inspired. They will do their best in their lives, just like you. They will be willing to face difficulty. They will be willing to struggle to succeed and make their family proud. And you have indeed made me, a fellow Sarawakian, proud. And I wish you success. I wish the Malaysian floorball team, women's floorball team, and men's, the men's as well, will get everything that you need. Amen to that. And you will be able to bring more pride to Malaysia. Thank you so much, Ivana and Janita. So I'll see you later.
Yes.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Janita Kadir and Ivana Beriak. So these two are the women's floorball team who have won 2 bronze medals in the SEA Games, as well as 5th place in the whole of Asia in the Floorball World Cup. So they deserve your support. If you have a company or if you know somebody who's looking to sponsor a sports team, they can do no worse They can do no better. Team, look them up in social media. Go to the description below. All the links are there. Check them out. Support them. We want them to succeed. We want them to be able to produce even more medals so that we can all brag to our neighbors, especially Singapore, our rivals in floorball. That's it from Athletes Inspired today. Thank you so much for staying with me and for attending the second interview of Athletes Inspire. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be back with another interview. It's going to be exciting, and I'm so looking forward to it. Selamat Hari Raya to everyone in Malaysia, as well as Hari Keamatan and Selamat Hari Gawai as well. Till next time, see you!